Hi, welcome to Splendid Sea Shanties Virtual Ukulele Workshop. My name is Miss Danielle, and I'm the Youth Services Coordinator at the Watson Library. I'm here today to show you how to play some sea shanties on the ukulele. To follow along at home, you're going to need a ukulele and our chord sheets, and the chord sheets are going to be linked in the video. If you don't have a ukulele, then you can check out your local branch of the Livingston Parish Library and request one of our music kits. Also, just a heads up, I'm using an Enya acoustic electric ukulele for recording purposes. If you're using an acoustic ukulele at home, it's going to sound and work exactly the same as this one. Before we get started, I want to quickly explain what a sea shanty is. A sea shanty is a working song. Sailors would sing them during heavy manual tasks like hoisting masts and sails, and it required sailors to be in sync to time the task properly. So this is why the shanties are really rhythmic and where that comes in handy, because it would help them get their work done. So shanties consist of a soloist who led the crew in verses of the song, and then the crew would come in chorus, and it made a call and response dynamic within the song, which is really iconic of the sea shanties. Our shanties are going to use some pretty easy chords. We have A minor, G minor, E minor, B, F, C, G, and D. In this episode, I'm going to go over the chord shapes and how to practice them. Okay, so the first chord we're going to learn is the A minor. So you're going to take your second finger on the second fret and put it on the fourth string, which is going to be our G. And the A minor sounds like this. We're also going to be learning a G minor, which is pretty easy. You take your first finger down here onto the first fret on the first string. Then you take your second finger onto the second fret, second string, third finger onto the third fret, third string, and it's going to sound like this. Cool. We're also going to learn another minor chord, which is E minor. It's super easy. You go over here to the fourth fret on the second string with your third finger, and then you kind of follow along behind it with your second finger on the third fret, second string, and then finally you come down to the first string, second fret, and that's what it's going to sound like. Okay, our next chord is going to be the B, which is super easy after learning the E minor because you pretty much just move it up one fret. So your third finger goes up one string, your second finger goes up one string, then your third finger goes up one string. But the trick with this first finger is these two strings down here, the first and second string on the second fret, you kind of want to play them both at the same time. Oop, it can get a little muffled sometimes. And when you have your strings, you have your finger across two strings, that's called a barred chord. So you're going to want to bar this part of the chord. If you can't, it's okay. You could still play it with just your first your first finger on the one string like this. It's going to sound pretty much the same. So if you're worried about, that muffling noise that you get if you mess up a barred chord, it's fine because this chord, it really doesn't matter for it. So you can totally play a modified version of that chord. Our next chord is super easy. It is the F chord. If you were part of our last ukulele workshop for Be a Bard, you'll remember this one. And it's just your second finger on the fourth string, second fret, and then your first finger on the second string, first fret. Super easy. Our next chord is C. It is the easiest chord of all. It is just one finger, this third finger on the fourth string, third fret. Super duper easy. And our next chord is going to be G. Okay, so the G chord is super easy, and it is your third finger on the second string, third fret. Then your second finger on the first string, second fret, and then right above it is your first finger on the third string, second fret, and it's going to sound like this. The last chord that we're going to learn today is D, and it's pretty easy because you just take your first finger on the fourth string, second fret, follow behind it on the third string, second fret with your second finger, and then follow behind it with the second string, second fret with your third finger, and it's just kind of stacked like this. and it's just super duper easy. Okay, so the way you want to practice your chords for this week's lesson, because next week we're going to start going into a song, is you just want to take them on a down strum when you're practicing them. So you just want to go through them kind of like this. And then that's all your chords. So practice that for a little while, just kind of nice slow down strum, changing between each of the chords, so you can kind of practice that and get your fingers used to the shapes. And then for our next episode, we're going to go over a sea shanty and how to play it. And we're going to go over some different techniques on how to make that song sound really cool and very piratey, because we all have to have like some pirate vibes when we're playing a sea shanty. So I'll go ahead and see you guys next week for our next episode. In the meantime, keep practicing. And if you need any library resources, definitely check out your local library, whatever Livingston Parish branch is closest to you. And if you're interested also in maybe recording some songs or kind of playing around with some of the instruments, definitely check out our digital media lab at the main branch library. So bye guys.